Hey there everybody, what's up? I'm back again. Why wasn't there an episode yesterday? Well, I didn't feel like doing one yesterday. You know, it's been a pretty troubling day, it's been a pretty troubling week, come to think of it. And I just, said to myself, I don't owe it to anyone to make these episodes. I'm doing it for myself. Because I like it. And if I don't like it, I don't do it. So that's why there wasn't an episode. I think I said it in the most recent episode when I worked with my father, and it's been a pretty long and hard day at work, and I was exhausted, and all I wanted to do was just go back to my apartment and just crash on my couch and fall asleep. And that's what I did. A little too much. Then obviously I had some stuff to do. My mom came over for a visit. And, well, after that I wasn't really feeling like I was in the mood to make another one of these episodes. So I didn't. Simple as that. Anyways, that's the long story shortened to fit the first few minutes of this episode. I can actually move on to this episode. And oh yeah, shocker, I overslept. That's why it's it's not totally dark outside, but I mean, it's not exactly it's not exactly the ideal time to go outside recording these. Do I need a better schedule? Probably I do, yeah. Do I? Nope. I said no. Do I have ways to make my schedule better? Also no. So, to be honest, I really don't know what's the best way to keep on moving. I'm not gonna challenge this gym, at least not today. But anyways, yeah, I'm getting kind of frustrated of always waking up at such late hours, and then the entire day just runs away from me. I didn't really get a chance to do anything that I wanted to do, which is annoying, but that's just the reality I've been forced to get adjusted to. I mean, if I had something to wake up for, like, as I've mentioned previously, working with my dad, then I'll have a reason to get out of bed in the morning, specifically morning. But on days when I don't, I can just keep on sleeping, whether it's good for me or not, and just waste the whole day away. It's not something that I enjoy doing, but that's what usually happens, whether I want to or not. In any case, that's a problem I'm going to have to find a way to address on my own. Now, it's not really a problem of waking up. It's more of a problem of going to sleep at the proper time, because I normally go to sleep long after midnight. As a matter of fact, last couple of weeks I've actually been going to sleep right around the time when the sun comes up. And I'm thinking maybe it's because of this job that I had for 4 years before they fired me a couple of months ago. That job kind of involved me doing a lot of night shifts. And the more I think about it, the more it makes sense to me that that's what really screwed me over. because I've been forced to just work all night and sleep all day. And I carried it over to my unemployment date. Now, would actually getting myself a new job that requires me to work all day and sleep all night help kind of balance this out? Sure, it would. And the question is, do I really want that? Do I really want another job? Do I really want to get myself back into this working man's kind of reality when I could be doing something else? Like this channel that I have right now. I mean, it's not really breaking any world records as far as subscribers or views or anything, but it's a nice, quaint little thing that's mine, and I love it. Figured the best thing to do in this brief unemployment segment of my life is to just put all of my efforts into the channel and try to try to see how I can advance my own interests using the YouTube. And that's why I'm trying all these different things. I'm trying obviously this show, which technically isn't really a new thing anymore, but I'm also trying Twitch and trying all these different outlets to kind of help promote myself. I mean, I'm working on a video game myself right now. I'm working on my Pokemon game that first of all, is currently making a series of videos on my channel, which so far is doing well, but something that I've been considering for quite a while, and it looks like I'm going to have to go for it. It's either coming up with a Patreon to help me fund this project, or alternatively just do a Kickstarter. Now I believe Kickstarter only works specifically for a project, and it only has a specific deadline or something like that. So I think I'd much rather start up a Patreon for my new Pokemon project, which by the way is now called Pokemon Star, Cross, and Crescent. It's no longer Pokemon Star and Cross. It is now Pokemon Star, Cross, and Crescent. Because, yep, there are going to be 3 versions instead of 2. I realized it's kind of changing the formula a little bit too much, but I figured it was a necessary change, because Pokemon Company kind of used to do that. Specifically Game Freak, sorry, not Pokemon Company. Game Freak kind of used to do that back in the day. They had the first 2 games, and then they kind of released a third sort of enhanced version that kind of took the best parts of both versions and fixed out all the bugs. That's what I wanted to do, but now I'm not going to have 2 versions at launch and then one that's kind of the better version of the 2. I'm going to have 3 versions. I'm going to try to make each version different in a way. The biggest change obviously would be the box art legendary, as is the case with every other Pokemon game so far. I mean, the box art legendary is kind of mandatory for the story purposes in most of these games, but also you can catch one but not the other, and that's really what I want from my game. I want to make these games as different from each other as possible, while still actually making them, all three of them, the same game. Same story, pretty much the same characters, same progression. But when you're playing as one of those versions, you feel like you're playing a different version, as opposed to just this version has this legendary in it, and this version has this legendary in it. So that's what I'm going for with this idea. I think that'll be nice. So, by the way, if I haven't actually said this on one of these episodes yet, I'm gonna say it now. I have the full idea and concept for the box art legendaries at the moment. I know exactly what they're going to look like, or at least what I want them to look like. I know their typings, their backstories, signature moves, all of that. Only thing I don't have right now is the means to make them come to life, which is the artwork. I don't really have any artwork to show of these guys. Like I have the artwork for the starters, as well as the region map. I have the artwork for those. What I don't have is artwork for the legendaries, the box art legendaries to be more specific, the sub legendaries, as I'm calling it right now, or any of the other Pokemon that I have came up with. All of their concepts and basic design is written down. Only thing I don't have is how they actually look like. But believe me, I do. I know what I know what I want them to look like. At any rate, in any case, and I'm specifically talking about all these Pokédex essentials, is what I'm calling them. You know, these kind of things that you can find in every Pokédex. They're kind of a main part of the game. So like the regional bird, or the regional early root bug type, the early root rodent thing, of the grass type, you know, that sort of a thing. The kind of things that make the Pokédex what it is. You know, they are what make this region stand out among all the other ones. And I have ideas for all of them. I've actually written down all of them. I even have the idea for the Pikachu clone. Not sure what I'm gonna call it though, because the Pikachu clone, one of the many big things about the Pikachu clones is their names are always in Japanese, except for maybe Plusle and Marion, I think. But just like Pikachu is in Japanese, and it's the same name in every single version of the game, every single language the games are being played, the same has to be for the Pikachu clones. So like, what's a good example? Pachirisu, that's in Japanese. Emolga, Dedenne, Togedemaru, Morpeko, that sort of a thing. You see, they're all in Japanese. And something that I have kind of noticed as a bit of a pattern in with these Pikachu clones, specifically from Gen 5 onwards, is that they all have an immunity to something. You know, Emolga being a flying type is immune to ground. Dedenne being a fairy type is immune to dragon. Still not quite sure why, but next. Togedemaru is a steel type, so it's immune to poison, and Morpeko is also dark type, which means it's immune to psychic. So I figured I should go that route, and actually the typing that I picked out for it, even before I've noticed this pattern, it was perfect. So I know exactly what the Pikachu clone is going to be, and I know what it's going to look like. I even have a special new ability for it, which kind of fun, but yeah, like I said, I need to draw it, and since I can't draw myself because I'm a terrible artist, I'm much better at ideas. What I'm doing is I'm commissioning someone to do it for me. As I said, working on a budget here, and also unemployed, so I can only really afford to pay this person. And yes, it is one person. I'm not working with multiple people. I don't have that kind of budget, but I can only afford to pay this person once every month or two. And it took me about a month for them to make the starters, and took him about a month and a half to come up with the map. And according to what they say, they had a bit of an accident recently, and they needed to do a surgery and stuff like that. So right now I'm not really contacting them, even though I have all of my ideas written down for the legendaries, the box art legendaries to be specific. But ouch. I have all my ideas for that. Just I'm kind of waiting for this person to get better before I ask them to draw me the box art legendaries. But they're pretty cool. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned what my ideas and concepts for the box art legendaries were. I mentioned it in a previous episode, and I also talked about a little bit about the sub legendary category. I'm still not quite sure if sub legendary is the best way to describe them, but I do have a name for them. So first of all, the box art legendaries are going to be called the Peace Trio, because box art legendaries always come in trios, and there has to be a special name for them, like the Tau Trio, the Weather Trio, what's another good, the Creation Trio, you know, stuff like that. So my box art legendaries are going to have the name the Peace Trio, for reasons that I'll go over in more detail in an episode later down the line, maybe next year, once, you know, I'll finally have artwork to share with people. But yeah, that's what is going to be the main idea for that's going to be the name for the box art legendaries. And the sub legendaries are going to be called the Legendary Guardian, and the idea is every single one of all three of the box art legendaries have two of these sub legendaries, two each. Like I mentioned that it's going to be Star, Cross, and Crescent. The Star Pokemon is going to have two, the Cross Pokemon is going to have two, and the Crescent Pokemon is going to have two. A big thing about this game is balance and equality. To make sure that all three of these legendaries and all three versions of the game, as a matter of fact, are equally balanced. That's one of the main reasons why I made the final evolved starters have types that kind of make them neutral to each other, for balance and equality. That's really the main reason for that. So same thing goes for the legendaries. It's a little tougher because I wanted to make them have types where they're super effective against each other, but they're also weak to each other at the same time, if you know what I mean. And that was tough. I mean, that was really hard, because, you know, with other legendaries, it's mostly the same thing, because let's just say for the legendary beasts, Suicune is strong against Entei. Raikou is strong against Suicune, but Entei doesn't really have a type advantage over Raikou, so it's not really an equal footing, if you know what I mean. Like, even when they have, for the Regis, for example, Regirock has a type advantage over Regice, and Registeel has a type advantage over Regirock, and all three of them are weak to fighting. So it's also not quite as balanced as you would have imagined it would be. Now, if we go over to the Gen 6 box art legendaries, Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde. Zygarde is ground and dragon, Xerneas is pure fairy, and Yveltal is flying and dark. Xerneas clearly has the advantage here, being super effective on Yveltal's dark type. And yes, there's a reason why I'm saying Yveltal instead of Yveltal, which is the actual name. But if you don't know, then you're not cool enough to know. But anyways, so Xerneas has the advantage over the dark type. Only one Raichu? This should be easy, speaking of dark types. But also Zygarde. Zygarde kind of drew the short end of the stick here, because Xerneas, being fairy, is immune to Zygarde's dragon type, and Yveltal, being flying type. What happened? What happened? Did the game got upset over me calling it Yveltal all the time? I guess someone else challenged the gym and won. But yeah, Yveltal is immune to Zygarde's ground type. Oh good, it's a red guy. Why can't I still... Oh, okay. So basically, both the X and Y Pokemon are kind of immune to the Z Pokemon's typing. And if you read up on the lore of these three Pokemon, Zygarde is kind of supposed to be the main balance, keeping these two in check. So, how exactly is it supposed to do that when both of them are immune to it? I will never know. Suddenly remembered I haven't done this yesterday, so, and the reason I haven't done it yesterday is because I was waiting to do this on camera. So here we go. Claim reward. I forgot what this month's wait, are we still in the Togetic range area? Yeah, it's a Togetic still. And then here's a Pineapple Berry because I forgot to do that last time. And catch it. Probably not going to get another Togetic this month because I've wasted all my opportunities. But hey, that's what happens sometimes. Oh yeah, I forgot, we get 10 because it's It's an evolved Pokemon, so we're getting more of it. Nice. I'll check it out later at my house, my apartment, if it's good or not. But yeah, so going back to the box art legendaries, I made sure that each of them has 2 types. I'm going back home, by the way. It's getting pretty dark, and this episode's gone long enough to be considered a full-length episode. And I've got a bunch of stuff I want to do first before addressing the main problem of me not being able to sleep. Anyways, so the box art legendaries, they're all going to have dual types, and I tried as hard as I possibly could to make sure that they each have a type that is super effective, at least super effective on one of the other two's types, or that it resists one or two of the other guys' types. And it was hard. Eventually I had to resort to just making one of them doubly weak to the other, but have the advantage over the other with its move pool, I should say, to make sure that because it's a big part of the story that all 3 of these battled each other for dominance, but none of them could really beat the other one because they were all just too powerful, and plus their types kind of matched up in a way that didn't really allow for it to happen. Now, obviously, as I mentioned, one of them is a bit of the odd one out, in a sense that I'm saying he as if it's a male, but I mean, most legendaries don't really have genders, but the thing is, one of them kind of was, and just ended up being 4 times weak to the other. So what I had to do is I had to tweak its move pool a bit. And by the way, I don't really have the full move pool of all of them or any of the other Pokemon that I currently have designed. That's something I'm just gonna have to sit down and actually work on once it gets time to actually get into that particular detail of the game. But yeah, so one of them is going to have a 4 times weakness to one of them, but to be able to make up for that, it's going to have a move pool that will give it a clear advantage over that one. And I don't want to reveal their types just yet. I'll save that for another video, but I'm just letting you guys know in advance that oh, a branch, that this is what my plan for these Pokemon is going to be. Now see, this is one of the reasons why I've been thinking about starting up a Patreon. It's gonna be a nice way to help me fund this project as well as myself, because I kind of need you know, the funding right now, being unemployed and all. But it would be a nice and interesting way to kind of reward people who sign up for the Patreon by giving them early access to these pieces of information whenever they drop, like artwork. I can just have pieces of artwork as soon as I get them, and the people in the Patreon will be the first people to know that. Again, that's just an idea that seems more and more possible every single day, because this project is getting to the point where I'm going to have to start to do something with it, and I pretty much have enough to go on, enough proof of concept, if you will, to get people to sign up for it. So maybe that's what I'm gonna do. As soon as I get back home, I'm going to set up a Patreon and hope the images that I have of the starters and the map will be enough to draw people in. That's what I'm hoping, at any rate. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that right now. I mean, there's no point in delaying it anymore, so let's go for it. One final thing I wanted to say before ending this episode. Yesterday was Tuesday, and Tuesday means Spotlight Hour. Now, yesterday's Spotlight Hour was Barboach. Now, as I've mentioned, I was doing a lot of things yesterday. First of all, I woke up late, but also after that, I had to do something that I'm going to keep it off camera for the time being. But then after that, my mom came over for a visit. So in between that time frame of me having to go to a place and do something, the Spotlight Hour happened, and I happened upon this beauty, a shiny Barboach. Also, this is a shiny Centret that I found the day before that, right after I finished recording the episode. As a matter of fact, I finished recording the episode, if you remember, on the bus stop when I was waiting for the bus. Then when the bus came, I continued playing this game on the bus, and just happened to find this shiny Centret on the bus while I was playing the game. I'm not going to evolve it because I already have a shiny Furret, and I kind of like the novelty of having one of each. I am, however, going to evolve. By the way, this is why you can see the shiny form right down here in the evolve button. But anyways, I'm going to evolve this shiny Barboach that I caught yesterday. I'm not really sure what the shiny form of Whiscash looks like, but this will be a first for me, I suppose. Ooh, nice. Whiscashlifa. I mean, it's mostly different from the regular form. Let's just do a quick comparison. Let's see. Hoenn, Whiscash, and Barboach are sort of in the middle, I believe. There's Barboach, and like you can definitely tell the difference between both versions. Now, if we go over here to Whiscash, or as I like to call it, Whiscashlifa, this is the regular form, and this is the shiny form. Really, the biggest change is the underbelly, and you know, the rest of the blue stuff kind of gets a little darker. Other than that, I mean, the lips pretty much stayed the same. Maybe they do get a little darker, or maybe it's just an after effect because the rest of the body kind of goes a little bit darker. But for the most part, this Pokemon kind of stays the same in its shiny form. But still, a shiny is a shiny. In any case, so that's pretty much it. Pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about today. Let's see if anybody's challenging this Mega Gengar. Evidently not. People just don't want to challenge Mega Evolved Pokemon. I mean, you'd see people challenging legendaries all day long, but The megas are just too powerful for people to even consider, even when they have a group of 3. And I mean, it makes sense. Megas are much stronger than the legendaries somehow. I'm not really sure how that happened, but they are. People just don't want to challenge them. I'm seeing people challenging legendaries on their own. Some people just have 2 phones and they challenge one legendary with both phones. But some people just straight up challenge a legendary on their own. Now, that's something that I've proven myself incapable of doing in recent episodes, but maybe some of that will change once they introduce the new ways of getting into level 50. When and if that actually comes to pass. Speaking of which, today is Wednesday, which means raid hour is going to start in about half an hour. Now listen, ever since the day started getting darker at earlier time, kind of decided not to do raid hours just because they don't really look good on camera at this hour. But I'm gonna try to participate in raid hour from my apartment. That's also another reason why I stopped doing raid hour videos, because people just prefer to stay at home, and so you lose part of that communal experience of talking to people while you're both raiding on the same Pokemon. Now look, maybe next year will be different. You know, they're saying that there's going to be a vaccine ready by February, and our Lord and Savior of a Prime Minister has already made deals to acquire these vaccines as early as April. So maybe by April people will feel a little bit more safe to go outside. Maybe also by that time Niantic is going to stop with the remote raid passes, which means people will be forced to leave their homes to go play this game like they were supposed to, like everyone did back when this game started. Maybe, but for now, all I know is people prefer to stay at home. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, when raid hours will start in about half an hour. And I'm gonna keep on working on my other stuff. Right? So that's it for today's episode. I'm almost home, so I'm guessing pretty much. What is with this Eevee? Sheesh. I mean, after a while, I just figured that, okay, after the 4th or 5th Pokeball, you just turn around and just give up on trying to catch it. But I don't know what I can say. I'm stubborn like that. Anyways, so that's it for today's episode. And, yeah. Thank you all for watching. And see you guys tomorrow, hopefully at a much better time of recording. So, goodbye everybody.
Hello again everybody! I really hope you enjoyed this video, cause I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time guys, I'll see you guys next time.